All right, here we are, the first ever Songwriting Tips Facebook Live broadcast off Marc Allred's music page. I'm Marc Allred, and I'm here today with Rye Bradley, who is a longtime musician friend of mine who I wanted to kind of bring out and talk about songwriting all together to share some tips and ideas. For those who've been tracking me off my page on Facebook, they know what I'm all about with reggae and my new record and a bunch of things that I've been doing over the last couple of years out in Virginia. But a lot of folks probably don't know Rye and where he comes from and why he matters. So, Rye, if you don't mind, just kind of talking about yourself for a minute. Like, how did you get to do what you're doing, and some of the highlights of some of the cool stuff you've been doing over the last couple of years?
Well, let's see. If I've reached back, Mark and I both were in high school making punk rock bands. We weren't in a band together, but we were playing shows together, and that kind of, you kind of become brothers on some level when other musicians, other musicians become like that secret club. So
that small family.
So yeah, it's an honor to stay connected with Mark and keep doing this stuff and do this interview with him and talk about, what I think the important tips are for songwriting. So I left Hawaii, got a music degree, and then ended up back in California working as a hired guitar player, touring around, and got kind of fed up with doing that, wanted to do my own thing. So I started writing my own songs again. And from there, a Nashville publisher started flying me out to Nashville to write songs.
Oh, no way.
And so I got in this, so I had this publishing deal for about 4 years with a Nashville publisher. And so I learned a lot about songwriting from that experience.
Who are you working with? Who was the publisher you were working with?
I hate talking about myself, but the truth is I worked with the best songwriters, people like Jim Weatherly, who wrote Midnight Train to Georgia.
Yeah.
Victoria Shaw, who was there in the beginning of Lady Antebellum.
Oh, no way.
I've been very blessed with the education that I've gotten from these people,
Yeah.
So, I've written some songs with the best, and I've learned from a lot of people out there in Nashville, where, if you ask me, that's probably the hub of songwriting in the world.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe like LA, Nashville, New York, and London, maybe. It's
what's the thrust of what you're doing lately these days for songwriting?
Well, it's funny, through my Nashville connection, I got connected with somebody that lives about a mile away from me. Huh. And we became super close buddies, and he's one of my best friends now. And he's a producer, so he's got a lot of cuts and a lot of hits under his belt. And so, but we're just, we get in the room together, and we're still two 12-year-olds who love Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
But from that comes a lot of songs, So my last album was written with me and my buddy Justin Bush, who produced the whole record. And wow. He's a really talented producer and an incredible writer. So the songwriting continues, and just like everything else I do every day, I'm just looking to get better at it,
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That gives people some good context. So let's kind of dig into.
By the way, I won a bunch of awards, and I've had songs on the radio. Blah 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 blah.
Well, that's important for people to know, right? So let's kind of lay the foundation as to why should anyone give a crap about Mark and Rye talking about songwriting right now, right? So the background coming from the experience you've already described, and so for people who don't know my background, played an upstanding youth for well over a decade out of Hawaii, made numbers of records, won a handful of awards, nominated for a Hoku out in Hawaii. And then now I just recently finished a 10-week project that I self-inflicted of writing 30 songs in 10 weeks. And so I'm really, right now, my head is so in the space of the craft of songwriting. And so let's talk about those tips and the nuances of what the craft really is like. And that's why, this conversation is important, and why I think we have something to share with other people. Okay, so let's kind of just dig right into the meat of, the purpose of trying to share some tips of songwriting with people. So, let's highlight 3 of the tips that you wanted to talk about of songwriting. Now, these are things that, you just think that are important to share and to highlight, and we'll just kind of go through those and discuss those real quick.
Yeah. Well, the first, I'm going to try to keep this as tight as possible into 3 tips, but the first one is, why are you writing the song? Are you writing it so that you can, so is it all about you, or are you providing something for the listener, right?
Right.
So I'm wanting to create something that the listener is affected by, right? So those songs that hit me, like my favorite song right now is John Legend, All of Me. It's like maybe a 5 or 6 year old song, but something about that song hits me so hard. And I think the message goes into my ears and affects me deeper because of form. Now, like giving in to the fact that your song needs to have 2 verses, a chorus, a bridge, and like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. There's nothing wrong with humbling yourself and going, my song's going to have that. Yeah. Once you have that boundary, then then you could take it out of there and be like, I'm going to add in like a post chorus or something different. There's all these forms that you could, or the Beatles thing is to do like a verse, bridge, verse.
So you're saying the first thing you want to talk about is form.
Form, yeah. Gotcha. I mean, give in to the form, and then you have this boundary to maybe take it out of the form. But when you have the form, it provides this format for the listener to understand what's going on. And I know it's something that many people have done before, but when I see people that are just starting out songwriting, they think that it's just like this free-for-all where you're just going to create something totally new out of the gate. Yeah. And then your listener's going like, this verse has been like 3 minutes of the same story, and I'm not getting it summed up with the message of the song and the chorus, and of course there's nothing wrong with that. I don't even think there's a better songwriter or a worse songwriter, but there's certain things that will affect your listener, Yeah. So for me, it's all about giving into that form. Like, I know that the main hook of the song is going to come back again, so I know what I'm getting at, and then the story is going to happen inside the verse. Yeah. That allows your listener to like take it in bite-sized chunks that they've already experienced before, and really have an effective experience. They don't have to try to listen to figure out the song because the form is there, something they're already familiar with.
Yeah, I think that there's something like really powerful about like effective communication. Like, what is the most effective way to communicate what I'm trying to tell you? And there are tried and true methodologies to that. Sometimes you don't even care. But just like the opening thing you said about what are you trying to do? Are you trying to communicate something specifically, or are you just trying to have a jam session? And that can dictate what form should I use based upon what I'm trying to do here. So what, off the top of your head, who provides some of the best, or what are some of the easiest forms that you rely on heavily?
Well, let's just get super simple first.
Yeah.
As an exercise, like if you already know what your form is, your most simple form that is the popular now, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Yeah.
Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Yeah.
So such an easy format to understand.
What's that? That's the A B C B, right?
Yeah. That's what I would. Yeah. Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Bridge, chorus. Yeah.
So,
what else we got?
Chunk of the story, main message of the song, another piece of the story, main message of the song, maybe a little reflection in the bridge, right? And then the main message of the So,
what are some of the ways that people screw that up? Do you think? Like, what's the most common way to screw that up? Form.
Well, people they let's go with less words. Why do you need a third verse? Yeah. Were you not able to express what it's about in the first and second verse? Why are we coming back? I mean, maybe not. If you're a songwriter and you're just writing it to express something that's inside of you, that's cool. But if you're writing a song that is going to express something but also connect with somebody else, I mean, why does your verse have to be so long? Yeah. Can you cut your verse in half and then maybe do like a pre-chorus, one line that leads you to the main message of the song?
Yeah.
So
sometimes I think about it like, so I did graduate work, right? I went off to grad school. I went to University of Hawaii for a little bit, did my grad work there. And after all that, now I'm focusing so much more on songwriting, but I look at songwriting from almost an academic perspective, right? Your chorus is your thesis, and then each one of your verses is your supporting evidence for what you're trying to say. But sometimes we feel like we have to be so verbose in supporting what we're saying that we have to why do you have to have a third verse, right? You can cut it down. You didn't make your point yet. You just feel like you have to write this massive opus to try to make your point. So I love kind of the way you describe that just there. And I compare that to the way that sometimes academia is just like that too.
Well, speaking of academia, so do you have a master's degree? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I got a master's degree out of UH.
All right. Well, I'm going to skip to my third tip. I'll come back to the second one.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Wait.
So my third tip is save the poetic stuff for when it really counts. And what I mean by that is, yes, we know you're smart. We know you've read a lot of books.
Yeah.
But if your song can communicate something to a toddler and a college professor, and they both get something out of it, to me, that's the real magic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like, if it's so simple that a toddler gets it, but it's so profound in its simplicity that a college professor gets it, that's what I want to write, you know?
I didn't think we were going to go down this path of a conversation, but that immediately made me, one of the things that I was most frustrated with in grad school was when you'd have these big, massive pieces of academic work talking about the impact of colonialism in the South Pacific and how bad it's been and what these countries need to do. But it's written in such a way that the people who are affected will never read this, will never be able to action this, and they will never understand it.
Totally.
So what's the freaking point of what you're doing? So I love that comparison that you're pulling out there too. I mean, there's a lot to be thinking about how to write and writing the effective words. Sometimes good words feel like a firefly, but getting the right word is lightning. And it's the difference that you're trying to find the lightning that can truly reach a person and electrify them. So yeah, save the poetry. I love that idea.
Well, I mean, and what I mean is keep it simple unless you really need to like get flowery, you know? For me, I would rather hear like Springsteen, how he tells you what it's like to be in that coffee shop. You know what I mean? Like you could, well, you know, he's telling you the song, you're there during the verse. You could feel that warm coffee cup in your hand. You know, you can hear the espresso machine in the background. And then the chorus hits and it's like you get the feeling that he's trying to, so he like paints the picture and then he hits you over the head with like maybe some poetic line in the chorus that like gets you like okay, so I mentioned All of Me by John Legend is my favorite song, right?
Yeah.
It's super easy. All of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. It's totally simple, direct, just what you would say. But then the bridge, my head is underwater, but I can still breathe. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. Like, or no, cards on the table. That's it. That's the bridge. Cards on the table. We're both showing hearts.
Yeah.
Risking it all.
Yeah.
Risking it all, although it's hard. That's so he save the you know, save
the metaphors,
the flowery save the thinking, the reflectiveness for the bridge or something, you know. But I just like the direct stuff basically.
Well, and there's
all of me loves all of you. That's you know,
like a lot of that comes down to as well. You want to be able to communicate something in a way that the broadest audience can relate, right? You want them to be able to sing along with you and to be able to relate. So if you're getting so specific and so academic or metaphoric about something that's like, dude, I have no way to relate to you. You're making, there's no connection between the songwriter and the audience, then you're doing a disservice. You're not connecting with your audience and you're not being effective as a songwriter. So I think there's a lot to that.
I do want to qualify though. I love Jeff Buckley. Most of the time I'm like, I'm not really sure what he's singing about, but I guess the idea is there's no right or wrong, but you want to know what the purpose of your song is.
Yeah.
And I guess it comes down to ego. If you're trying to show us how many vocabulary words you memorized, then you're not serving the listener. You know, if you want to show us that you are making some historical or some really inside reference, I mean, then the song's for you, and that's okay.
Yeah, but and there's a place for that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So
sweet. And just a reminder to those who may be tuning in right now, if you do have questions later on, we're going to try and open it up for a little bit of Q&A. Let's reach back to your number 2. Let's go to your number 2 tip.
Okay, well, number 2 follows my number 1. So number 1 is form. Go with the standard form unless you really feel like something wacky needs to happen in the song. Standard form provides that format so people can take in the information and they expect, you know, Number two, the lift in the chorus. There's nothing worse than like you're totally into the song, and then the chorus comes and it's just like a dud melodically. Lift it up, sing me something, you know, or even change the vibe. If you're like really wordy in the verse, when the chorus comes, do something long, la la la, you know, like lift it and just give me some dynamics in terms of, you know, what's happening.
So how do you think we screw that up as songwriters? What's an easy way to screw that up?
Starting too high. So then you go to the chorus and there's like nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
At least that's one thing that I do that messes it up. Like I got this killer verse and then I go to sing the chorus and I'm like, oh, I guess I better change the key on this thing so I could sing it.
Yeah.
You know, but
so I love what Lady Gaga said. She said she always starts with the chorus, because if you don't have a chorus, you don't have a song, to quote her. Right.
And I was going to mention that, like, if you do start with the chorus, sometimes that's where your song idea is.
Right.
You know, I can't live, living is without you. That's the song. Right. The rest is like almost filler. You could be, it's not, but you could be, because that's the song that, so if you just want to lead up to that. So
that's kind of like how Dave Grohl, he talks about, you know, he writes his chorus like a bumper sticker. Keep on trucking, and then everything just kind of like has to back up. That's going back to the academic idea that the chorus is your thesis. Everything else in the verse has to be able to back it up. But if you don't have that central idea that's simple enough for people to grasp and to be able to sing along with, that lifts you up, then you're never going to be able to take anyone anywhere. And going back to the idea of what even a chorus is, like from the old school Greek and Latin idea within plays or songs, that's where a chorus of people join in to help sing that part of the play or the song. So you want it to be something that everyone can sing along with. And so if it's super wordy, or if it's, you know, you can't sing that high, you know, I can't sing along with you.
Or if it's the same melody notes as the verse.
Monotonous.
You're falling asleep already.
Yeah. So I love that.
But, you know, all these tips, they also can be broken. One of my favorite songs that I've written, the chorus doesn't lift, but it's like one of and like that's maybe one of the reasons I like it so much, is because the chorus drives it home, but it doesn't do something typical.
So when you say lift, are you saying musically or
usually
conceptually?
Actually, the chorus does lift because of what happens. But melodically, it doesn't. Typically, when I say lift in the chorus, I mean melodically.
Right.
Right. That's what I think that's what we all want, really.
Right.
You know, this climactic part. But and now that you mention it, the song that I'm saying, it doesn't necessarily lift melodically. It does lift musically.
Right.
A lot happens. Yeah. So,
and I think
the song I'm talking about is called "You, Me, and the Music." So
I think that if you can even take it to like, even if it doesn't like lift melodically or musically, all the music lift you up, if the idea lifts you, right? It's that central theme that like the verse is talking about everything, and then all of a sudden you're lifted to that higher idea that the chorus is talking about. That creates the lift, even if all the music, it can still be there.
Yeah, well, specifically I was talking about melody.
Gotcha.
But I definitely think there needs to be something that drives it home every chorus.
Gotcha.
You know, so
I like it. All right, I think you had a bonus tip.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to mention that in the world of creativity, no one is better than anyone else. But I do notice that people that practice seem to make more stuff and better stuff. So if you're a painter and you practice all the time, you're going to make a lot more paintings and you're going to make better paintings. It doesn't mean anyone is better than anyone else. Obviously, you got to be you. You know.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. Like, I feel like I've written more in these past 10 weeks for this project than I have in the past 5 years. And it's just the doing of it that has changed my approach, and it's a more well-oiled machine. But yeah, I love that idea of like, it's a matter of just the doing of it that helps you become more practiced and efficient at it.
Yeah, I notice when I don't write a song for a while, when I get back into it, it's every word just means so much, and it takes so long because every word has got to be perfect. But once I get in the habit of writing a few, then they come together so much faster. So
yeah,
you're not agonizing over one word, you know.
Love it.
Yeah, so cool.
All right, let's see here real quick. I'm going to search through the comments. We've kind of gone through the tips that Rai wanted to share with us. If anyone who's watching has any questions they'd like to pose, I'm going to search through some of the comments that we've already had and highlight. But if anyone has any questions, we can address some of those real quick. Let's see who we got. We got Greg Storch, who just said something kind of just cool. This is really cool. Can't believe you're speaking with Rai. Wow.
Awesome.
Greg's an interesting cat. I was sitting in Taco Bell having lunch one day, and he was wearing a Sublime shirt, and I just stopped him. I'm like, hey, I'm playing this weekend over here. I love the Sublime shirt. You'd love it. He's become a rad friend. He's come to tons of shows now. It's been pretty cool, him and his wife. That's
awesome.
All right. I don't think we're having like any real questions being posed right there, so we're going to kind of just leave it at that for now. Go ahead and share, if people want to get in touch with your music, where can they learn more about you? Where do they need to go to get your music and see what you're doing next?
Well, nowadays you can just throw my name into Google. Just put Rai Bradley into Google. But what I want y'all to do is go to patreon.com/Rai Bradley. I'm releasing songs, like exclusive songs on Patreon, and I'm discussing them too. So if you're interested in songwriting, subscribe to my Patreon. It's only $3 a month, and you get a song, but also it's more about the conversation, right? So I got a new song. This one I had a song placed on The Fosters, that family show recently.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about this song, or here's the song I wrote this month that I, produced out and with a professional recording. Let's talk about it. Here's one that I'm working on. You guys like it? Here's my next record. Which of these songs do you think should, I want to get people on a loop where it's not just me firing out songs, but actually connecting with people in a creative way. So patreon.com/Rai Bradley.
Awesome. Love it. And how has that been going lately?
It's good. It's funny how you have a fan base, but the people who really want to connect with you and that you get in a conversation with, they become like your super fan, your like little tribe.
Yeah.
Right. It's not even fans anymore. There's actually a back and forth where you guys know each other. And so it's cool. I mean, I've had stuff on the radio and there's people that know me, but I like this thing where I have like a smaller inner circle where we talk about songs and talk about what's important to us,
That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, being able to develop those closer relationships with your audience, that's super valuable, man.
I know. Well, I mean, like, think about Elvis. The idea of Elvis, the Elvis that we know, is not really a real person, right?
Yeah.
Only a few people actually knew him, knew how he was, knew what he would laugh at. You know what I'm saying? So all this technology seems to separate us, but if you use it right, it can actually get us closer. Yeah.
So that's awesome. All right, so go to Rai's Patreon and go get connected with the projects that he's got going on. Awesome.
Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
Okay, that's gotten us through the tips. Thanks so much, Rai, for making the time to share some ideas and to talk about songwriting. Really enjoyed that. Just to wrap up really quick, I'm going to choose one person who's joined us and hand out a brand new Marc Allred free sticker. So, Greg Storch, I'm going to hit you up later and you've won the free sticker. I'm going to get your mailing address and send that out to you. If anyone who's been watching wants to know when I'm doing the next one, which is going to become more regular, sign up for my newsletter. And that is going to be plug that one in real quick for everyone to be able to see. You can follow that link and get my regular newsletter. I'm going to try and do these more frequently where I grab different artists and we talk about songwriting and the craft and just some of the more effective ways to go about songwriting and whatnot. So sign up there and I'll give you the first heads up on when things are so you can be there to connect. Again, I got a new record coming out beginning of next year. So looking forward to sharing that with you guys too. Rai, anything else you want to share with folks before we disconnect here?
I just want to say thanks for including me. This is great. It's it's good to be a part of it, and just I don't know, man. I'm just happy to do it. So thanks everybody for paying attention and hanging and
Yeah.
being interested in creativity. You know, so
Yeah,
it's
I
kind
think
of
that's one of the things I remember growing up, starting getting into songwriting. I remember just sitting there being like, how does Real Big Fish write a song? What's their process like, and how do they go about it? And so now I think back to that 17-year-old me, and I'm like, there's got to be tons more people who have that same question. And so if I can facilitate that conversation to help people figure out how to do it better, how to do it effectively to solve some of that anguish, then that'd be great.
Man, thinking back to all the songs I wrote in high school with like 6 verses, or like really, your song is 6 minutes long,
and it's great.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool, but you know, there's something to be said for making this really succinct piece of art.
Yeah,
it just hits home, right? You know,
there is an effective way to do it. Yes, sir.
But yeah.
All right.
Who cares? Write a 10-minute song. Who cares? I'll listen to it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rye, so much for making the time all the way out in California. So I'm Marc Allred. It's Rye Bradley talking about songwriting tips. Thanks for everyone who's paid attention, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.